If you're thinking about moving to Westlake, Florida, if you're wondering what it's like living in Westlake, Florida, here's a community you're going to want to know. It's the Westlake's newest community for single-family homes, and it's called the Pines of Westlake. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury. Welcome. Each week, we look at and investigate what it's like to live here in South Florida. Today, we are in Florida's newest city and Florida's fastest growing city, Westlake. Over the years, we've covered all the sub-communities. We're doing the Pines now. If you go back to our channel, you'll see we've covered the estates, we've covered the orchards, we've covered the pros and cons of Westlake. Well, currently, this is the single family, one of the bigger of the two that they're selling today, single family homes. There's also one down the street. It's called the Woodlands. Last year, this was our most asked about area, community, Westlake. When all is said and done, Westlake will be a total of 4,000 homes. One of the reasons for the popularity of Westlake is that it's for new construction. This is what we do. We do a lot of new construction. We have found that people relocating to here in South Florida, generally speaking, go in the direction of new construction. For new construction, this is really good value, all of Westlake. The Pines is what they're selling now. They're also selling the Woodlands. I'll tell you a little bit more. I'm going to do a community overview later, going through some of the models. Stick around for that if you want to know more. Also, later we'll go to the map just to give you an idea where we are. But of the two communities, the Pines and the Woodlands, this is going to be in terms of price and budget-wise, the lesser of the two. This is also going to be the bigger of the two. Just to give you an idea, the Woodlands is going to be 164 homes, much more exclusive, and it's going to be, we've done a video on the Woodlands. Go over there after this video to take a look at what we did there. But that's going to be the two larger collections, their Indigo and their Atlantic collection. Here at the Pines, there's a total of 446 homes. So this is going to be a bigger community, and also more affordable. So if your budget is a little bit more limited, the Pines is going to be an easier community to get into if you're thinking about moving to Westlake, Florida. 18 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people perhaps like you do the exact same thing. So if you're considering moving to this area, if you're wondering what it's like living in this area, each week we do videos on this. If you want to ask questions from people who have actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally two of the best ways is in the description in the comment section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is it'll help set up some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. One of the things I think that's really good about what they do at Minto Westlake is that you walk in, first off, you don't walk into that sales center on your own. If you do, that's a big mistake. More on that later. But if you were to walk into the sales center and you have no idea what you want, they will help you find something. And I say that because they literally have 43 floor plans. There is a lot to choose from in terms of number of floor plans. I like to do the pros and the cons of things. I think that's why people appreciate us at living in Palm Beach, Florida. One of the pros when it comes to moving to Westlake is they do have all that variety. One of the cons is because demand is so high, there's not a lot of quick delivery homes. We have some now, but in general, it's a little bit hard to come across quick delivery homes in Westlake than other new construction communities here in South Florida today. So Westlake began, now there's a history to Westlake. I've covered it in a lot of my channels, a lot of my videos before. I'm not going to go into depth on this one. I really want to talk a little bit more about the Pines. Between the two, it's the more affordable of the two. But in a nutshell, Westlake started literally in 2016. Didn't really get started selling and people moving here into 2018. These two communities have been selling now for about a year or so. They are about 40% done. So they're selling fairly well. It is our experience that when you buy in new construction communities, the earlier you get in, the better pricing. I just was speaking to someone this morning that bought a home with, through us new construction that closed in 2021, a few years back. And the guy's sitting on tons of equity. Now he's looking for a life change and considering moving. We'll help you with that too. But one of the benefits to using a company like ours is that, if you go into the sales center right there, they're going to just show you new construction. That's it. That's what they want to sell you. But we are living in Palm Beach, Florida. We're unbiased in this regard. If there are new, like over there is the orchards. If there's homes for sale in the orchards that make better sense for you, we are going to tell you. They're not going to tell you in the sales center. So let me go into a little bit about what I mean by independent representation right now. In order for us to help you through your journey here of new construction here at Westlake or any new construction community, we need to be there on your first visit. That's really important. As I mentioned, don't walk into that sales center on your own. Let us help you make the appointment. We get pretty good standing on getting appointments. It's because demand is so high, it is hard to get an appointment in there. If you just walk in that sales center, they will not take you seriously. You won't get as thorough an overview. Trust me, they're not going to tell you that, but I'm telling you that enough of closings in this community to know. But in order for us to help you, if there's nothing out of your pocket, just, it doesn't cost you anything out of your pocket for us to help you. It's the builder who pays us. They're happy to pay us to do so, because after all, they want us to help you and introduce you to their beautiful community. So we would make the introduction on your first visit. That's key. If you go and walk into that sales center and call us a week later, they're likely or not, almost like 100% not going to let us represent you at that point. And it really hurts me when I get phone calls like that. And I get phone calls like that fairly often. Hey, Ray, I was just in Westlake. I saw your video. By then, it's a little bit too late. If you're planning a trip down here, let us help you arrange that. We'll be there for your whole journey, not just on the introduction with the broker, with the builder, but also we can help you with the inspections, give you guidance on that. You'll do an options appointment at some point. We would help you in that regard. In any case, we are unbiased. If this is not the right community for you, as an example, they don't want to hear this, but one of their biggest competitors is Arden, which is pretty close. We can help you there too. So we can help you in either of these communities. So independent representation, we highly recommend. Reach out to our team down below if you want to know a little bit more what that's like and how we can help you. Now, I know a lot of people are anxious when they get an idea, get a community in mind, anxious to go on the website. Do not register on the website. Do not call in. Let us help you set up with the right person. They have several salespeople at these at the sales center. We want to hook you up with the right people. They're all pretty good, mind you, but once we get to know you through a Zoom, ideally, or at least over the phone call, we'll get an idea of who the best person you could work with. We want someone who's going to be fighting for you. We want someone who's going to work hard for you at the builder. We can help put that together. We'll help set that up. So if you're on their website, don't register, because what that'll do is it'll automatically assign you to somebody. Let us help you in that regard. Another important thing about the website, the prices you see there. I'll be mentioning prices. Stick around, like I said, for the community overview. The prices on the website are not going to be the ones that I'm going to be talking about later. They're not going to be the ones that are realistic. We live in Realville here and living in Palm Beach, Florida. And we want you to know what's realistic in terms of pricing. The prices on the website, generally speaking, are for the price of the base model. It's not for the land. I've got a list of what the prices are for the land right now, which will change in the future by the time this video comes out. But it doesn't include the land, and it doesn't include the upgrades. In general, people can spend, and it depends on your taste, of course, but in general, people can spend 10, 15, 25% more when it comes to upgrades. What I mean by upgrades, I mean choosing your flooring. You don't like the standard cabinets. You might need to change that. Some of the collections do not have impact windows. Reach out to our team if you want to know about that. Most new construction communities here in South Florida do have impact glass for the windows. It makes it for a lot more safety when it comes to hurricanes, because as you might have heard, we do get hurricanes down here. But there are some collections that have it here in Westlake and some that don't. We'd love to guide you as to which direction we would take if we were buying home here in Westlake, Florida. I know 18 years ago, as I mentioned, we were looking here, and I wish there were videos like this back then when we were looking. We've helped so many people relocate to this area through new construction and whatnot. But one of the things that I always find helpful is a map. So now, without further ado, let's go to the map to see exactly where is Westlake, Florida.
So where is Westlake on a map? I'm going to start looking at an overview of Florida, just to give you an idea of where we are from a 10,000 foot perspective. Florida is a big state. It is one of the most populated states right now as we get more and more growth. You see here, West Palm Beach is highlighted here in the blue. It is in the Palm Beach area. It is the largest. It is the largest city by population. The downtown area. If you live anywhere in Palm Beach, you will go there. There's a lot to do. Let's zoom in a little bit. It's one of the things that whether you're in Westlake, Wellington, or Palm Beach Gardens, you will go to downtown West Palm Beach. That's a video for another time. If you want, you can take a look at from our previous videos, pros and cons of moving to West Palm Beach or living in West Palm Beach. But to give you an idea, again, West Palm Beach is here. This is all of Palm Beach County. And here is Westlake. Now, sometimes what happens is people will say, well, it's so far west. So I sometimes hear that. When it comes to Arden, when it comes to Westlake, we often hear, we always give the pros and the cons, right? One of the cons that sometimes people will bring up when talking about Westlake and Arden is that it's so far away. Now, mind you, if you go to the beach from Westlake or Arden, either one, it's about a half hour. So it's not so far away. It is very well located in terms of it's on Southern Boulevard, and I'll show you in a second on the map, which is the best road going east to west in the area. And you can literally make it to downtown West Palm Beach, even in a challenging traffic time in about a half hour. As we go to the map, I mean, the story of Westlake is that Minto, the builder, bought all this property out here in 2016. It was once this town, Waxahachie, a very, very rural place, still remains a very rural place. You can buy a plot of property. If you look at some of these houses, you can buy a plot of property, an acre and a half is fairly typical, and build your own custom house. And a lot of people still do that. Some people still do that. But if you look at Westlake as a whole, they bought the property, they had some legal challenges, and they ended up saying, you know what, the heck with that, what it's going to incorporate into our own city of Westlake. And that's what they did. And here is the satellite vision of what Westlake is today. It still is it shows as if it's very undeveloped. In a second, I'm going to go to some of the community maps that are online. But you can see it's starting to build out. This Publix is one of the biggest Publix in the area. It's huge. I got to mention this. We do a lot of business here. We get a lot of people in the 55 plus space. And this is one of the best 55 plus communities. It makes up, Westlake is 4,000 homes. Crestwind makes up about 800 and change of those homes. So it's a significant part of the community. But this is what they call Florida's newest city, Westlake. Here is a really good community map. It doesn't show like the satellite version of it, but it got a good overview of and labeled well of what is around. Here is Westlake. We'll talk more about the sales center. Do not go in there on your own. It's a big mistake. That's where the sales center is. This is the main road going to Southern Boulevard, which is Seminole, Pratt, Whitney. This goes to Southern Boulevard, and then Southern Boulevard goes across east to west. So they started building this community. The Hammocks was the first one they built. Then they moved on the Meadows, the Groves, Orchards. In the meantime, this community called Sky Cove, which is a different builder. It's Label and Company, but they related in a way. The previous CEO of Minto, started his own company, Label and Company, and they have a very healthy relationship. And we've listed some homes on their behalf. because we do that for the builders because we market extremely well at living in Palm Beach, Florida. They built out Sky Cove and Sky Cove South. They're generally speaking were smaller homes. Then they started building bigger homes towards the end of the development. They're both sold out, as you can see here. They started getting a little bit bigger. What one of the benefits, as you'll see later, is with Minto is that they have a numerous amount of floor plans, but they built all these out. The Orchards is one of their is one of their biggest. We've done a ton of business in that community. Really nice community. Their high-end community down here, it's sold out, is the Estates. It is only using the Atlantic, their highest collection. Bigger pieces of property. People shied away from it way back when because the property was on the bigger side at the time and the lots cost more money. But in my book, and listen, we give people guidance. Sometimes they take it and sometimes they don't. In our book, it was better. That was a better deal because now the property values are a lot higher because they are on bigger pieces of property, which in general, a lot of people, you Northerners know this, would like a little bit more property for their home. I'll mention briefly later the terraces. This is like the hottest new thing. They just opened this up. They're townhouses. They're small townhouses, and they basically have even in the worst environments, and when months might be slow, they have two buyers for every home here. There's a wait list to get on here. It's probably primarily because of the price. You cannot get a new construction home in Palm Beach for the 400s, which is what that is. You can't get it. Here they're going to be more money. But anyways, that is a story for another time. Let's go quickly to the site map of the Pines. All right, here is a site map for the Pines. Like the Orchards, it's going to be one of the bigger communities in Westlake. I have 446 homes. I'll mention that later. I'll mention it here now. They're almost 50% sold out, and they are building on lots of like a 50-foot lots and 65-foot lots, and you'll see later that it's actually right here. 50 Cypress collection is the 50-foot lots. The indigo, which is the orange, is the bigger ones. You'll see later, as we'll discuss. Stick around for some of these great details. If you're buying this community, you need to stick around to the end. We're going to go through the community map and all this, but the CDD, we're going to look at the Adventure Park. I am on site at the Adventure Park. The CDD is different for each of these lots. So whether you're on an indigo or a Cypress, the CDD, or they call it SID, but it's a code name for the same exact thing, is the same. But this is the site map when it comes to the Pines. And when you buy a to-be-built homes, which is currently taking about 8 to 14 months to build, if you're building an indigo type home, you'll only choose from the orange. If you're building a Cypress, you'll choose from this teal colored map. But that's sort of the way it works if you're looking to buy in the community of the Pines in Westlake, Florida. So one of the benefits when it comes to Westlake is that their amount of floor plans. As I mentioned, they have 43 floor plans at Westlake, which is insane. We've never really had anyone say, I just can't find something we like from a floor plan perspective. It just doesn't happen. But let me show you the floor plans that are evolved and maybe some of the more popular floor plans when it comes to buying a home in the Pines. And I'll even touch a little bit on the Woodlands, which is another community that they're currently selling. Each sub-community at Westlake, the Minto part of Westlake, they use certain collections. The Pines, they use the Cypress and they use the indigo. So just to give you an idea, if you go to their website, again, I don't know if you've seen this part of it yet, or you've heard this before, I've said it before many times, do not register on the website. Have us help you with that. This way we can assign you with the person we think is the best fit for you. But here is the Cypress collection. You have the Cassia 2, the Aster, and basically these are the smaller models. They're on more narrow lots. And here's some of the more popular models are, and this is from one of the salespeople that sees a ton of people. So they get the feedback they get is probably greater than anybody. Is the Cassia is one of the more popular ones. The Schuflera, which I've seen a lot of people go to that one. That's right here. They actually have that model, the Schuflera, on site if you go to the models. The way it works at Westlake is when we go there, They have in one of their communities, the hammocks is where the models are. The Schiflera has it. Obviously, they don't have all the models. They don't have 43 models sitting around, but they have the more popular ones, which is why which it's helpful to know which are the more popular ones. The Azalea is another one. That's also a model home. As you can see, it says model right here. That's a fairly popular model, I find. So those are the most popular Cypress collections. Now, if we go down, and I've seen some of these others, the Laurel Grand and the Birchwood, but those are the ones, again, the most popular. If you go to the Indigo selection, again, this is part of Pines. That's their upper level in the Pines. It's the middle collection for Minto. This is the Sandhill. We've done a lot of that. I've seen a lot of people who like this model. It's also one of the more affordable ones. It's 2,410 square feet under air conditioning, which is like living space. But that's I know that's very popular. We've had a lot of people look at that. There is one thing that sometimes, like I always talk about the pros and cons. There is one criticism that sometimes people will say when you walk in to the Sandhill, there's not a real dramatic entrance. It is one where you pretty much walk right into the house. And to some people, they don't like that. The good thing about the Sandhill is you have an option for a third car garage. The model on site has that. And you can basically, it's like a golf cart garage. And the other aspect of this home, if you notice, the garage here is a side load garage. A lot of people like that. Like if you see here, like the Woodlark, it's a straight facing garage, where the Kingfisher, which is also fairly popular, is straightforward. Some people do prefer the side load garage, and that is one of the benefits when it comes to the Sandhill. Continuing, let's see what they tell me is the Sandhill they mention as one of the more popular ones, and then excuse me, the Kestrel Grand. I know the Kingfisher Grand is a great house. I do know they have that on site. It's got a really nice, in my opinion, a really nice kitchen, and the way it's set up, I really do like it. The Kestrel Grand, they have a model of. It's incredible. The master suite in that home is literally insane. It's one of the nicest master suites you'll ever see. It's one of the more popular models when you were looking at the Indigo, their middle selection. And then the Pines does in fact have it. Pricing, as you see, the base price of the home is 696. Let's go with 693,000. It's almost 4,000 square feet under air. Again, add your lot and whatnot. This house literally will be something around in the 800, 900s if you're done right. I mean, you could spend nothing on options, but I'll tell you, that almost never happens. You will probably spend something when it comes to options and buying in Westlake, Florida. I want to briefly touch on these. This is the Atlantic collection. It's not part of the Pines. It is part of the Woodlands. I just want to touch on it. We did a video on the Woodlands previously. So might want to check on that. Again, there's less homes in the Woodlands, but they use in the Indigo and the Atlantic collection, the Estates neighborhood, that really small neighborhood that we saw in the overview, only uses the Atlantic. This is their upper collection, and they have the Tequesta Grand is their model. And as you can see, it's 3384 under air conditioning living space. It is of the all the Atlantic collections is one of the more popular in at Westlake when it comes to the Atlantic collection. The high end at Westlake at Westlake, Florida. So when you're looking at these collections, when you're looking at what home to buy. Generally speaking, the more higher you go in terms of Cypress, Indigo, and Atlantic, the wider your lots are. And so you're only allowed to put like Atlantic homes on Atlantic lots and accordingly, respectively, Indigo lots and so forth. So they're generally speaking, the lots of land are going to be more money. And the other factor I think is important to mention here is that the standard features on each collection, as you go higher, is a little bit is also higher. So the standard, what you get as a standard feature on Atlantic is going to be equivalent of an upgrade when you're looking at indigo or cypress. One thing I also have to mention is there's always, when it comes to getting a deal at Westlake, and work with us on this, we could really help you, is that there are sometimes quick delivery homes. They don't get that many these days in recent years, Westlake, but when you get a quick, I just got one emailed to me yesterday by the person I work there with. And when you get a quick delivery home, sometimes it's because home came back to the market because they're falling through in financing. Those are your best deals. And the reason is because they don't really want to hold the house. They want to get off their books. So sometimes the best deals come that way. And if you want to be on the look for these kind of deals, reach out to us and we can put you on a list of people that are interested in looking at only those. That's a possibility. But anyways, I have a list of quick delivery homes here right now, but when the time this video comes out, they'll probably be changed. But that is what you can expect when you're looking at the models at Minto in Westlake, Florida.
Well, I hope you found that helpful. One thing I want to mention too, which is one of the hottest things that's going on in the whole county. But for Florida, Westlake is Florida's newest city. You'll see that advertised until the next one comes up. Hopefully someone tells me when the next one comes up. But right now it is the newest city. Going back just a year ago and speaking to the mayor of Westlake, he was telling us that literally of all Palm Beach County, which is about 1.5 million people, of all Palm Beach County, all the new permits being applied for, 1/3 was coming from Westlake, Florida. Okay, as I mentioned, if you're looking to buy a home here in the Pines or the Woodlands, if you go online, it's just the base price of the home. Stick around. Again, we're going to go over that, the pricing on that for the base model. But again, I mentioned about the lots. I have the lots available. This will give you an idea what to expect when it comes to the pricing of lots. But this is not, when this video airs, it's probably not going to be the same. They change the price of homes usually in the upward direction as they sell. That's the way all builders do. They also change the price of the lots, and they also change their incentives. Like right now, it says right along the top here, in the Woodlands, they're offering a $10,000 incentive right now for select lots in the Woodlands. Sometimes, if it's a quick delivery home, which sometimes they have quick delivery homes, they are normally very aggressive on their incentive. Reach out to our team. We'd love to give you an idea of what they have right now, because when this film comes out, and even a month later, that will change. But right now in the Pines, I'm looking at price. There's a Cypress collection and the Indigo section. We'll talk about what homes they represent now, but at this time. But the Cypress collection are built on 50-foot wide lots. The Indigo collection is built on 65 feet wide lots. So price of the Indigo is high. I mean, it goes from $140,000 to roughly $150,000 just for the land. That's why I say the price on the website is not going to be realistic. If you look at the Woodlands, this is even more so. They use the Indigo and the Atlantic collection in the Woodlands. They use the upper collections. If you go over there, right about that way, is the Estates collection, which right now to date is their most exclusive collection. Small, bigger pieces of land. Only use the Atlantic, which is their top collection. Those prices are going to be higher, but the Woodlands is the next highest category for Westlake, Florida here. And they only use the Indigo, which is the middle, and the Atlantic. So to give you an idea, they're only using the top. And you're looking at you're looking anywhere from $147,000 to the highest I see here is $162,000 for the lots. Again, it doesn't include the upgrades. The good news is if you're doing your upgrades if you're buying in the upper collection, the upgrades will be less, because the standard features in the upper collections in general are higher when it comes to pricing. So you probably don't need to spend as much when it comes to upgrades. One of the secrets that we know as a builder, we are a new home co-broker. We do a lot of new construction. We help people relocate to this beautiful part of the world. I tell you this all the time, every week. And one of the reasons why people use us is we know the builders really well. If this is not a fit, we know everything about what else is going on in other communities, so we can help you in that regard. So when it comes to doing relocations, one thing we found is most people do go to new construction, and we are a new home co-broker, and we can help you in that regard. So, and also, if you want a list, if you want to just see what's around new home construction wise, we could send you a link. Email us down below. I'll send you a link to our new construction website. It's the best way to see what's going on in new construction in Palm Beach and all of South Florida. Also, stick around. We're going to talk a little bit about the amenities in the Adventure Center, which is literally right down the street. One of the reasons why people buy this community is the HOA fee in general is low. Compared to most other communities in Palm Beach, it's one of the lower, and it gives you a lot. And the reason they're able to do that, as I mentioned earlier, there are 4,000 homes. There will be 4,000 homes when all is said and done. They're pricing the HOA fee as if they already have the 4,000 homes. And so for that, I'll give you the exacts pretty much, but anywhere from like $100 to $200, somewhere in that range, is what you can expect for your HOA fee. I got to mention this too, because right now they are also offering townhouses down here. We don't get involved too much with townhouses, but if you have a limited budget and you want to get into a new construction community with the number that begins with the number 4, which in Palm Beach is really difficult to do, we can help you with that. There's a group that they just released recently, a community called the Terraces, and in there they have townhouses in the 400,000s. That's brand new construction in the 400s, which is unheard of in this day and age. So if you want to know more about the townhouses, reach out. We'd love to help you. The demand for those townhouses, because of the price point, is literally insane. They have, for every lot they release, they have 2 buyers. So it is a process. It's something you're going to need. You're likely not going to be able to buy on the first try, but every month they go through a release, and you can give it a try. It's going back to the days of 2020 and 2021. It's similar to that because of the price point and the demand. If you want to know more about the process and you want any tips on whether you're buying in the Pines, the Woodlands, or the Terraces, reach out. We can give you tips on how to take advantage of everything they have to offer here in Westlake, Florida. So if you're buying into any homeowners association community in Florida, you're going to want to know what the fee is and what does it include. One of the benefits to Westlake, we are in front of the Adventure Park here at Westlake, is that, as I mentioned in the intro earlier, that it is a lean HOA. Because it's spread over so many homes, the pricing is enormous, is enormous impact on your budget. So let me go over some pricing. Depends on, HOA fee is going to depend on which community that you're actually in. If you're in the townhomes, believe it or not, even though they're smaller homes, the HOA fee is going to be a little bit more money. The Terraces is going to be roughly $255. The Crossings is going to be roughly $286. So that's just primarily because they just afford you more amenities as per a townhome. In terms of the single-family homes, the Woodlands is only $91, and the Pines is $64. Now, all of these, you have to add on to all these, you have to add on a $56 Westlake fee. That's for the master fee. That's to be, everyone who lives in the city of Westlake has access to the Adventure Park here. I'm standing in front of it now. It is one of the highlights of the community. They do a lot of events here, whether it's 4th of July or Halloween or Christmas. They'll do golf cart parades. They're also very, very golf cart friendly. In fact, the mayor was telling us when we met with them that there is a requirement. The town center is going to be really nice. It's not built yet, but when any community, any store that's in the city of Westlake is going to be required to provide golf cart parking. That's what they want to make it friendly. They want you so that you can live in your house right down over there in that community, be able to take it right here to the Adventure Center here and the town center over at Westlake. So there's lots of stuff even in that direction too. There's tot lock, there's tennis, there's a lot of stuff. I have a whole list here. If you're interested in knowing what all the amenities that this community has to offer, reach out to our team. I can actually even send this to you. But like everything else, the price of HOA fees go up with inflation. The other thing that I'd like to mention is a CDD fee. If you ask them, the builders over at Westlake, do you have a CDD fee? They will tell you no. And the reason they will tell you no is because it is actually called a SID fee, which is a Seminole District fee. It's basically the same thing. Every collection is a little bit different. As an example, if you are in some collections with just the 50-foot lots, there's no SID or CDD fee. If you are in like a Cypress, you will pay about $807 per year. Indigo, $852. The Atlantic collection, roughly $920 SID or CID fee. So that is actually pretty low. If you look at some of the other CDD fees or CRS, other whatever they call them in the communities around here, they're higher. Up in Avenir, as an example, they can range all the way up to $5,000 a year. Now, important thing to know is it's not a monthly fee like your homeowners association. It is a yearly fee. You see how I mentioned yearly. It is part of your taxes, and when you get your tax bill, that's how you will get your SID fee or your CDD fee. There's a ton to offer when it comes to events, when it comes to amenity here at Westlake. It's very affordable. If you want to know more, reach out to our team. The Woodlands, the Pines of Westlake, paradise here in South Florida.